What up, YouTube? Today, I'm going to show you all around the new Nike Air Force 1 NOLA Premiums that recently dropped. When I saw pics of these online, I didn't know what to make of them, so I had to check them out in person. Hang out with me for a few minutes and I'll show you all around the shoe, all the crazy little details and touches, there's a lot, and I'll show you some shots on foot. After that, I will give you my completely honest opinion on these. Okay, let's get started. So I copped this pair on the Nike Sneakers app. They are a part of the Nike 40-year celebration of the Air Force 1. They cost me $150 and they took way too long to ship. That said, I finally got them in hand and I'm going to take a deep dive into these. But before I do, I ask that you please like and please subscribe to my channel if you enjoy any of my videos or if you're feeling any of my content. It's completely free for you and it would really help. Thank you, and now back to the kicks. Let's run through everything, starting with the box. As you can see, it's a pretty standard black Nike box with silver foil printing on top. Considering all the gold hits on the shoe, I feel like this was a missed opportunity to at least make the Nike branding on the box gold, but I digress. When you open them up, you'll see bone tissue paper with little stars pressed into it. You'll notice this pattern matches the little stars you see on the outsole of AF1s, so that's a nice touch. When you pull the shoes out, the first thing you notice is that crazy blinged out swoosh. It's very flashy and there's no ignoring it. If you look close, you can see it's technically two swooshes. There's a gold patent leather base swoosh and sitting on top of that is a sparkly diamond swoosh. When I saw these online, it looked like a bunch of little crystals, but that's not the case. It's more like party store glitter or something you find at an arts and crafts store. I'm not saying it's bad, it just wasn't what I was expecting based on the pics. Also, be aware these sparkles do shed, especially if you run your finger over it. I'm not sure if you can see that, but there's a bunch of little sparkles on my finger. You can also see here right out of the box some of the random glitter is shed onto the leather. Not a big deal, but it should be interesting to see how these hold up over time. Also, in case you're wondering, the medial swoosh on the inner part of the shoe also has two swooshes, but it's not bedazzled. It's simply white with a gold swoosh underneath. Another thing I wasn't expecting was the entire uppers of these kicks are made of white patent leather. That white patent leather really didn't translate visually online, and I'm guessing a lot of people who ordered these are going to be just as surprised as I was when they get them in hand. It's not a huge deal, but it raises another concern about the potential durability of these. Patent leather is not the ideal material for sneakers, and when they start to crease, it's not a good look. Anyway, there's a lot more to cover, so let's keep it going. On the lateral side, just below the swoosh, you'll find the word NOLA, embossed in gold. If you didn't already know, NOLA is short for New Orleans, Louisiana, or as the locals call it, Nolans. You could see the L in the word NOLA is in the shape of the state of Louisiana. If you look close, they even added a tiny little star to indicate where New Orleans is located on the map, and the number 504 to represent their area code. That's pretty cool, but that's not all they added here. Another little touch that most people will miss is how they integrated a tiny little Nike swoosh onto the letter A. Take a look. I love little Easter eggs like this. As you can see, there's a lot going on with this one little logo, but I always like when Nike adds graphics to the outer heel. Working your way to the rear of the sneaker, you'll see more gold patent leather on the heel tab with gold embroidering. Moving inside the shoe, you'll find this blood orange insole with Nike in a serif font and Air Force 1 in this sort of lightning font. I don't know the significance of this font treatment, but I believe it's a nod to the New Orleans music scene from the early 2000s. If you Google some of those old album covers from Master P and Big Timers, you'll notice most of them use that tapered, bending type style a lot. That's just a guess, but it kind of makes sense. Another cool touch no one will ever see is when you pull the insole out, you'll see the color gradually transitions to a lighter yellowish color toward the toe area. While we're here, you can also see the white sock liner, which has a very premium feel to it compared to a standard pair. It has almost a silky satin feel and it's very nice. Next, we'll move to the tongue and work our way down. The tongue tag has another satiny material in sort of a light orange or copper color, and I'm not sure if you can see it, but the material has a wavy design pattern if you look real close. You'll also notice the tongue on these is not made of leather. On top of the tongue sits a pair of premium white laces. They feel good and they're finished with a pair of gold aglets. I love cool aglets, so this is right up my alley. This white pair is the only pair of laces they come with, but I think they look good. Holding these laces in place, you will find gold eyelets. Typical Air Force 1s don't come with metal eyelets, but this pair does, and I think it creates an interesting look. It also balances out the rest of the gold on the shoe. Finally, aside from the bedazzled swoosh on the side, you'll find the second craziest feature on this shoe, this giant gold debray sitting halfway up the tongue. This is typically where a lace lock would go, but I think this qualifies more as a debray. It's a shiny, heavy piece of metal with the New Orleans area code 504 stamped into it. That's interesting, and if you look really close, you'll notice two little faux diamonds on either side. It's a very subtle touch, but also very appropriate for this shoe. The midsole and outsole is all white and standard AF1, nothing unusual here. On foot, they feel like every other pair of Air Forces. They typically run a little big, and most people go down half a size. If you've never owned a pair of Air Force Ones and are ordering these online, I recommend trying on any pair first to find out your most comfortable size. While on foot, my biggest concern about these is the patent leather uppers. I have a feeling these are going to start creasing quick, and that's going to suck. That said, you can slow down the process by investing in a $10 pair of crease protectors. I use them on most of my kicks, and they really do help. Overall, these kicks are definitely New Orleans appropriate, and they give me Master P vibes and Cash Money Millionaire vibes all day long. I can totally picture Juvenile, Lil Wayne, and Manny Fresh rocking these in the late 90s, early 2000s. They just have that feel to them. I'm willing to bet those old New Orleans hip-hop album covers were without question the inspiration for these. Also, the gold gives me New Orleans Saint vibes, which also makes sense. So in conclusion, these are a very different pair of premium Air Force Ones with a lot of interesting and unique touches. I think they were fairly priced at $150, but I would definitely not call these everyday kicks. And I think they're more fun to look at than actually wear. For me, these would be something cool for a display case and maybe something you pull out on special occasions like New Year's Eve, maybe prom night, and of course Mardi Gras. What are your thoughts on these NOLAs? Are they a drip or a skip? I would love to hear your opinions in the comments below. Anyway, that's my video on the Nike Air Force One NOLA Premium Lows. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please click the like button, please subscribe, and click that notification bell to stay up to date on my latest videos. Also, you can always check me out on TikTok and Instagram at E21Life. I'm always posting random content there. As always, thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. And until next time, stay safe, everyone. Peace.
Vibing, yeah. Me and my folks all good, that sun is shining. Ay, chillin' with my feet kicked up like I ain't trying. Yeah, this is what I want on summer, yeah. Gangs all here, let's run it, yeah. Vibes right here, 100, yeah. I've been on game like EA. Sippin' too soon, that